We're the ones that live. That's what I want you to know. I just got done watching season 11 of The Walking Dead, the last 8 episodes, episodes 17 to 24. I want to tell you my thoughts about it. I also wanted to talk about all 11 seasons and the other shows and the ones that are coming, but I'm not really going to get to all that right now. But just want you to know, I have a lot to say, and I'm getting emotional. I was pretty emotional watching it, and it means a lot. Like this show means a lot to me. I started watching it in 2010, ironically enough. There was a black girl who told me about it, and somebody else too, but especially her. And what I find ironic about that is this story, for the most part, is a love story between the white guy and the black girl. You got Rick Grimes and you got Michonne, and that is one of the biggest storylines in the series. I mean, there's a lot of things happening. I mean, in 11 seasons, you can do a lot. And it's just like this show was part of my life during the 2010s, and as I was living my life, as I was in my 20s, my late 20s at that time, and transitioning into different parts of my life, and as I went to Vietnam in 2012, and as I came back in 2017, The Walking Dead was there, and Fear the Walking Dead, and the world, what do they call that? The World Beyond, the third show they introduced, and it's just, it means a lot to me because it's just like the characters there in this universe is they're kind of like family to me in a lot of ways. And if you think about it, like they do kill a lot. They kill a lot of people, almost like more than, like possibly more than some of the other shows like Dexter Morgan and Breaking Bad. Oh, it might be as bad as like Game of Thrones. Maybe like if you think about it, it might be a good thing. It might be a bad thing. Like when you're deciding who to kill off, and you know this show is not without its faults, and especially when they killed off who's the Asian guy again? Glenn. And that was the worst person you could ever kill off besides Rick Grimes. Like if you were to kill off him, that would be pretty terrible. And I get it, like sometimes you just gotta kill people off, like, and it's better sometimes to do that, and sometimes you really just don't want to do it. And especially like in the last episode of this series, they kill off Rosita, and that was upsetting, but it was understandable, and it was a story worth telling, like the perspective of what does a mother do when their children are in danger. And what you see is they fight like hell, like a chicken protecting its eggs. And it's something you see in Rosita, even though it's like she was bitten, she was able to survive. And it's a very beautiful thing, even though it's very heartbreaking. It's a beautiful thing that you can leave the earth with some kind of legacy in your children, which is what it's all about in a lot of ways, even though it's heartbreaking. I thought that the way that they ended the last episode is very, very good and very powerful, and just like the last 8 episodes in general were really good. With like they had an intro, they had um, Rick's daughter do a little bit of an intro to every episode, like a little bit of a, like, she was the narrator at the beginning of the episode, and that was very important. And then they did the little thing at the end of the last episode, and they started talking about how we're the ones that live, we're the ones that live, we're the ones that live, and they kept on saying that again and again. We're the ones, we're the ones that live, we're the ones. And they start showing you all the people from the whole entire show, and they're gonna have um, 4 shows coming up as soon as they're ready. Probably this fall, as early as this fall. There's gonna be 4 shows. They're gonna continue with Fear the Walking Dead, and they're gonna have 3 other new shows. There's gonna be a show about the city called Dead City, and then there's gonna be a Daryl show, and then there's gonna be the Rick and Michonne show, and it's gonna be I think it's gonna be pretty good. I thought maybe they were gonna have another show that's like in Europe or something. I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts. I'm not very put together at the moment. Like, I have a lot of this. My thoughts are all over the place right now. I I, I took some notes, and one of the things I thought was interesting was, like, when you cut somebody's arm off, there's gonna be a little bit of a phantom pain. They talked about that, and it's true. You're gonna have phantom pain. You're gonna feel like your arm is still there, even if your arm's not there. And that reminded me. It reminded me of that video game, the Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain. It's one of those prequel video games with a backstory of the big boss, Solid Snake. I found that to be appealing. So I kind of want to show you a little bit of the last 8 episodes. I'm not going to show you like the whole entire show, and I'm not going to show you the other shows right now. I just want you to know that it's very important to me, and the characters are like a part of my life. I'm talking really slowly, which is good in some ways, but I don't really want to talk slowly. I'd rather be like some of these other YouTubers, some of these other people who are like talking really fast. But then again, it's like there's pros and cons between going fast and going slow. And the same thing with the show. Sometimes you really do gotta go fast, and sometimes you really do gotta go slow when you're telling a whole lot of different stories. And I was wondering, like, how are they gonna like try to end the show? And this is how they did it. And they were able to get the characters to come together and fight, and they were able to bring like get the city of the Commonwealth to come to their side, and that was really good. And they were able to capture the female governor, and that was good. And then she wanted an easy way out, but Negan was like, that's an easy way out. And so then, what's her face was like, okay, I'm not gonna let her die easy. Like, it's not gonna be easy. Like, she needs to suffer. And she had some really, really important conversations with Negan, because he's the one that killed Glenn. And so these conversations that you see, especially in this final season, is really intriguing to me, because I'm just thinking, I've been thinking the whole time, like, what are they gonna do? How are they gonna play this out? It's very important to me. Like, I really like Negan as a villain, and so I really enjoyed seeing Rick and Negan go at it with each other. They're fighting, but then Rick was like, "I'm not gonna kill you," and I didn't really like that. But somehow they turned that into some kind of redemption arc, which is not always possible. It's very dangerous, but I can see where like he's coming from. Like, you may want to try to give people a little bit of forgiveness and a little bit of mercy, and a little bit, like, sometimes people can turn around and they can change. Sometimes people don't, and sometimes people do. Sometimes you probably should give people an opportunity to go down a different path. Give them a second chance. That's what they did with Negan, and it's like, he was there. Negan was in jail for like 8 years and something like that, for a long time, while Judith, the daughter of Rick, was like growing up, and then she's like 8, and they did a time jump, and Rick, Rick's gone, and Negan's like redeeming himself, but what's her face? She's not able to. She's not really able to forgive him, and that's understandable. And she was talking about how every time she's looking at Negan, all she can see is the memories of him beating the hell out of Glenn, and that's kind of how it works, for better or for worse. I mean, I would imagine it might be possible to change that in your mind, but then again, it's not always possible. Depending on the individual, it can be really hard, and it depends on the situation and everything else. But it's tough. Like, dealing with people, you may not have to deal with somebody who has a baseball bat named Lucille Ball, beating the hell out of your boyfriend, your husband. Like, that's not gonna happen all the time. But you're gonna deal with stuff that's gonna be painful, and it's gonna be hard. And I'm having a hard time just doing this episode. Having a hard time. And I feel like I have a million things to say, because this has been a part of my life, going back 13 years. And it kind of parallels, probably paralyzes too, but it parallels like me and my life and the life that I had. And it was kind of ironic, like I said at the beginning of this video. Like, I hope I don't get in trouble. Kathy stole my bike. Like, I hope I don't get in trouble with saying something about how, like, it reminds me of something I was sort of involved with, kind of thing, a love story kind of thing. But it wasn't really a love story. But in my mind, I was sort of thinking about that and sort of not thinking about that at the same time. It's a long story, but I hope I don't get in trouble for talking about that. There was a black girl, there was a white boy, and it was like a love story. Not a love story, okay? Forget I ever said anything. I'm gonna have to erase this video with the 10,000 other videos that YouTube stole from me. And this personal love story that's not a love story in my own life, Oatmeal Joey Arnold, parallels with Rick and Michonne. That's what I said. I'm sticking to it. And There's a lot of other things. Like there's a lot of things. I'm trying not to yell. I'm trying not to yell because I don't want to tear down this house and let the walkers in. There's like a million other things that I want to say about the whole entire series and everything else because I'm a big fan and I'm going crazy right now. But for now, I'm gonna really quickly walk you through the last 8 episodes of this show, The Walking Dead. It's Monday right now. It's 4 a.m. my time near Seattle, near Seattle. Monday, the 10th of April, 2023. I'm Joey Arnold VN. Here are the last 8 episodes of The Walking Dead. Episode 7. Judith is the narrator. Talking about people dying, but then people living and survival, and we're the ones that live, and the value of family and friends and sticking together. Hey, Rosita, I'm the Red Ranger. These are really upside down here. Very upside down. Don't worry, I'm gonna get bitten very soon. Oh no, that'll be terrible. Oh no, here comes the walkers. You gotta watch out. You gotta watch out. Episode 18. We've come so far. Look, it's Daryl. We realize so much. Look, it's Daryl's brother. He got his arm clawed off. They're on a motorcycle. Oh, it's Rick and Daryl. The people that die and the people that go are not lost forever. Not lost forever. Forever, ever? I believe that. I believe that. I have to. Oh no, there are people heads on spikes. There's the part where the governor is like, oh, something about my son, and then they play a tape, and it's her son saying something about how the rich people are rich and the poor people are poor, and the what do you call it, the poker thing or the contest thing in a bobber, it's all fake. It's all fake. And all the people start getting upset, and then they started an uprising a little bit out of that, a slam on capitalism. Oh no, the son of the governor dies eventually, and here's the Red Ranger having an affair with the Pink Ranger. Hello, talk to the hand, 'cause I'm not listening. Hola, hola. What? We can do this. What? Yes, we can do this. Are you sure? Yes, we can totally do this. You can do this. You got so much power. Okay, my love, Rosita. You are so beautiful. Look. It's one of the hot, sexy producers. She is kind of hot, even though she's probably like a leftist weirdo. She's kind of attractive. I have a thing for her. I'm sorry, I didn't do. Okay, okay. Got it. Get it. Good. Stop. Stop recording. Stop recording. My mom once told me the only thing worse than the dead are the living. So they're gonna have a trial for the murder of the governor's son. This brat killed allegedly by Eugene, but really it wasn't his fault. But they're blaming it on him. But there's like walkers got in and then he died. He got bitten or something. Yeah, it was so terrible. But then the lawyer lady, she's like, I'm gonna try to defend Eugene, and then she does, and then people are up. They're totally upset that he's gonna be executed. Yeah, and then the Red Ranger comes and saves the day. Boo 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 da doo boo. Go Mama Ranger. Oh yeah, I remember now. Her name's Maggie. What's her face? Maggie, who was with Glenn. This part is very tragic because she's like feeling. I don't know if she knew him, this boy, but it's like, what do you do? Like as a mother, you feel like this could have been my son. Here is Ezekiel and Negan and the others. They're at some kind of work camp, It's like one of those things that they have in the real world, in America and other countries. They got a lot of these things, a lot of terrible things happening for us if we don't peacefully do some peaceful stuff. Yeah, totally peaceful, non-violent. That's right. I never ever. It's like some of this stuff is kind of real. There is Eugene's girlfriend. She's kind of hot. I got a thing for her too. I just like everybody. Like I just look at people and kind of remind me of Sharon, but I'm not gonna talk about that. Okay, didn't say anybody's name. But there's a Red Ranger. Yeah. And what else happened? Yeah, this is the part where okay, this is at the one of those camps. Ooh, she's kind of hot too. So there's the main villain is the redhead guy. So they're gonna kill Negan. He was feeling like this guy was the cause of something terrible, like some kind of uprising. So he wants to get rid of this guy. He wants to get rid of the redhead guy. Wants to get rid of the Negan guy. Negan understands what kind of guy the redhead guy is, but then the redhead guy's like, he's like, I don't want no martyr. And then he was trying to kill Negan's wife and soon to be kid, unborn child, and then Ezekiel comes and he's like, "You're gonna have to kill me," and this was like the I am Alex Jones moment, the I am Sparta moment, the I am Waldo moment, the domino effect, the butterfly effect, the snowball effect. It was really powerful to see Negan in this position as a father, and he told Maggie like he understood what she felt when he killed Glenn at this moment when they were gonna kill him, and not just him because he was okay with that, but like his family, his wife, his kid. It's very devastating. Episode 23. I noticed right away what they were doing with this, and they show you all the different characters taking out their weapons, and the last one's the gun, because that's Rick Grimes. And I started looking at the gun right away early on, and I'm like, hey, I know that gun, I know that gun, I know that gun, I know that gun. Like you just see the gun the whole time as everybody's picking it up, and then they talk about the daughter. The daughter's doing the narrating, and so they're doing a setup for him because they're gonna bring him back. Because as you know from Disney's Star Wars, nobody's really ever gone, including Rick Grimes. A bunch of walkers are coming to the Commonwealth, and they try to hop into a trailer of the Arnold Attic, the Oatmeal Joey Arnold's Arnold Attic. Oh my God, trailer. And then this girl's her arm gets cut off. Well, because he got bitten and they had to cut it off. And for some reason, some of the white guys, the white rangers, are like they're dragging the walkers into the city, towards the city, but then it gets out of hand because they're incompetent, like totally incompetent, and then like they get bitten and they die, and then they have the smart walkers and they're climbing the walls, and it's just a big mess. They have a really good conversation here, Ezekiel and Negan, and it's very powerful. And Negan's just like, he just wants to do the right thing, even though he knows that he deserves everything, anything bad he deserves. And so he just wants to do right and save the world kind of thing, help them out, and perhaps die as a martyr, going out, doing something good for other people. And so it's like, it's kind of good to see Negan and this character development, this kind of story arc kind of thing, even though I was somewhat against it in principle, in theory, a bit. I've been resistant to redeeming Negan before, going back many years. to the point where Rick could have killed him and didn't. And I was a little bit hesitant. I thought it was a bad idea because Negan could have, like, found a way out, found some kind of escape, and try to kill everybody. But they were able to keep him and then reform him. Here are two hot girls. The governor shoots Judith, and then you feel like, oh no, is Judith gonna die? Are they gonna kill Judith? And then Daryl drains out his blood for her, and he's okay, and he runs off to do his thing later on. But still, it's kind of really epic. It's like really epic, like seeing Rosita fight to the death, trying to, act like Spider-Man, climbing up a wall, going up a pipe that could easily break off, because that's a lot of weight. But if it's strong, I guess like it can hold everybody. But still, that's kind of crazy climbing up a wall like that. But they did it, I guess. And I'm excited about what's going on, I guess, and all this stuff. And it's pretty epic. There's a train, and so there's the idea of like robbers and like robbing a bank, and you look Back in the Future 3. Episode 24, the last episode of The Walking Dead ever. It opens up the same way it started, with not Rick, but his daughter in a hospital. It all started season 1, episode 1. Rick is in a hospital. Now, fast forward to the last episode, season 11. It's his goddamn daughter in a hospital trying to get away from the zombies. It's like George Lucas is rolling in his grave even though he's not dead yet. Like they said on Twitter, like, oh my god, George Lucas, founder of Star Wars, rolling in his grave. And he's saying to everybody, it's poetry. It rhymes, everybody. It rhymes. You got Rick in the hospital. Now you got your daughter in the hospital. Oh my god, it rhymes. What did daughter do? What did daughter do? And they're there laying on the ground, laying on the ground, like me and my mom when she got hit by a car in 1988 after we went to Seattle. It was around Thanksgiving. Yeah, what a powerful thing. So this is the last episode, and I felt like, are they gonna kill this person? Are they gonna kill that person? And they killed Rosita, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. There's Maggie's bun. That's where my mom worked. This is where they have the conversation, Negan and Maggie. One of the most important things that Maggie says is, even though she cannot forgive Negan, she's not gonna hate him because she doesn't want her son to know, to see something or somebody have some kind of control, like that kind of control over her, like that much power, that much control, that much weight on her, like she doesn't want that for her son to know, to see, to experience this kind of vulnerability, but not in a good way. Vulnerability can be a good thing, but in a really bad way. Like, she didn't want that, and she's like, I'm not gonna be angry. I may not forgive, I may not forget, but I'm not gonna be angry. I'm not gonna be angry. I think, when I think about that, it kind of struck a chord. It touched me in a funny place, not a funny place. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's a lot of truth there, a lot of truth, a lot of truth. Ooh ooh, ow ow. In the end, they blow up the zombies with a lot of gasoline and stuff like that. They just blow up the city, and that's kind of cool. A waste of gas, I guess, but it was kind of cool looking. Daryl runs off again. They're glad. This is the end of the episode where they do a little love story thing, and that's why I started talking about the love story thing between me and another person that wasn't really a love story, but it was like a one-sided love story thing. I'm not gonna talk about it, but even though I wasn't really trying to, part of me was, but it wasn't. But it's a long story. I'm not gonna get into it. That was going on 2010 to 2012, and then I went to Vietnam. But I'm not gonna talk about it. But I'll tell you what. This is kind of cool. The ending, the love story between Rick and Michonne. And so they just like they show you all the different people from the show and the people that die, the people that are still alive, and oh my God, she's like some kind of samurai, and it's just there's the boots, and there he is without the boots, and like he ran off to like write these letters, and then they find him, and it's almost like, oh no, is he gonna end it? Oh no, what's he gonna do? And then there's Michonne, and there's what's his name, Morgan, and you see all these people, and you know it's really interesting. This is Michonne going into a crowd of walkers. There's like an uncountable amount of walkers here, like millions of walkers, and he's just going right straight ahead. Like what in the world? That's crazy. And there's Rick. The helicopter found him, and he's sort of surrendering, but at the very end, he smiles, and that's how it ends. And really, it's not over. It's not over. I may try to review every episode of the show and the other shows too, every season. But for now, this is what I'm going to end you with. This is uh, this is an inspiration. This character, Rick Grimes, one of my favorites of all time. Thank you for watching.